Hi there, love warriors. I'm your master cosmologist and the head cheerleader to the stars. I have one more message that just wants to come on through today, and that is Mars at the mastery quintessential degree of Leo, 1 degree of Leo. 1 degree of Leo is our heart, it is our soul, it is our true love. And I am so happy for Mars's arrival here because I feel like he's finally making his transition to be a love warrior, to fight for love harder than anything else. The old war, old fighter, the old warrior has been retired. It doesn't mean it won't have a mantram, a lot of mantrams as the old goes out and comes completely offline, taken offline completely. But I just get this rejoicing, happy energy of the masculine's inner child. I don't think there's too many little boys running around or men that would say when they were a boy, a small child, that they wanted to go off to war and murder people and shoot bombs or do any other of the heinous acts committed on this planet by the more masculine principle on the planet. Mars is truly onboarding being a heart-based lover, a lover boy. And he fights for what's right, what's worth fighting for, what's in his heart, and he fights for his art. I pulled a card for Mars in Leo a couple days ago, which was this one, and I'm going to bring it back up because I want to break it down a little bit more. I was shown this word coming apart into 3 separate words, which was hear, art, beat, hear, art, beat. I'm getting Mars as the little drummer boy, and he's marching to the beat of his heart. He's marching to the beat of his own drum. He's not willing to partake in the old wars and in the old boy network being told to go do things that violates his heart and his soul and his very essence. He doesn't have it in him anymore. Will he pick up a sword and fight for injustice and things that need to be put down? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. However, this is full on tapping the little boy in the masculine's heart. I was given a couple songs before I started this transmission. One was Take Me There by Maya and Blackstreet. It's from the Rugrats movie soundtrack, which is a song I have not heard in ages, but it's this kind of take me back to my childhood song, which feels pretty much what Mars is about right now. And then what was the other one? Oh, We Built This City by Starship. We built this city on rock and roll. Today is Easter Sunday, and Jesus Christ, golly, never wanted to go on this mission spurred on by his evil daddy and carry a cross and die for anybody else. He truly wanted to be a rock star and be Jesus Christ superstar. I kid you not. I have a very close connection to the energy of the Christ, and it is nothing like the propaganda in a very overly published and distributed book that we've all had shoved down our throats. Anywho, really, what everyone wants to do is follow their own heart and stay true to their own heart and make their own version of art. I was told a couple of days ago, just heard in my head, to pay attention to the words of children. And I'm not around children very often because I currently work from home and record all my videos here. Straighten out this camera. So I wasn't really planning on running into children or encountering children. I've been to town a couple of times in the last week, but I just kept my ears open for it, and it came through today. I got my 𝗏𝗏 from children, which there was a lot of activity with children in this neighborhood today, which really warmed my heart and made me smile really big. The neighborhood that I live in is pretty run down. It's pretty poor. I wouldn't call it ghetto because it's not a ghetto, but it's pretty dumpy. It's pretty low economic. It's one of the more neglected parts of this general vicinity that I live in. It was at the peak of, well, I don't know. It's gotten more expensive here since we purchased this house. My point was that we kind of got stuck purchasing this house because there weren't a lot of options in our price range anymore. We got priced out of better neighborhoods. So we ended up here. It's been a huge soul growth environment for me. But there's not a lot of children in the neighborhood. There's a lot of older folks that reside around here, people who've had their properties for decades and decades and decades and are in their senior years. There are a couple children, but you don't see them walking up and down my street typically. But today they were out in force and they were racing each other and giggling. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That's what the warrior does, in my opinion. He makes it safe for all children to run free and play without having to worry about shady criminals and creepers. No sense of danger. You know what I mean? Outside of being cautious and the natural world, but not a predatory, gotta keep your kids locked in the house because something might happen to them kind of world. And I was out gardening later. There's a park directly behind the house, and there were some boys playing out back, and they were giggling and they were talking so loud. They were being really rambunctious, just being boys, right? And I heard them talking about, yeah, one day you and I could have an art business together and we'll open an art store and we'll open this art business. And I didn't hear the full context of what they said because some of it was lower volume and muffled, but I got little snippets. And the gist of the conversation was these couple boys wanting to grow up and be artists or have some sort of art business. And it just choked me up. I was so delighted to hear that. And it just felt like the inner masculine, the little boy speaking through these kids playing, these boys playing, and just be still my heart. Be still my heart. That is what I fight for. I fight for children to grow up and live out their dreams and become all they were meant to be, follow their heart, not be forced into a career because mommy and daddy or some a-hole G word forced you to pick up some lost cause and throw your life away for other people's sins. F that shit. Hear art beat. Hear art beat. I'm getting the earth as this vibrating drum or this speaker booming this heartbeat, heartbeat. I always feel like the earth is potentially the heart chakra. of the universe. Maybe it's the womb. You guys can vote and tell me what you think. I always get it as the heart, though, for some reason. And then Hawaii, 𝗻𝗻𝐻𝗃, as the actual heart chakra of the earth. And I know there's conflicting information about that, but if you've ever been to Hawaii and stepped on that land, aloha, you just feel the aloha spirit, and it feels like love. It feels like you're being embraced with a big old hug when you arrive there. heART beat, heART beat, connecting into your heart, tapping into your heart, fighting for your art being a statement, your art having a message, having an impact, being cathartic, changing the world, shared out there for people to hear it, see it, experience it. There's a booming quality to the heartbeat where it can't be ignored. It's almost like the Pied Piper. You just have to follow the drum beat. You have to follow the drum beat. You have to follow the beat of your heart. And if you ignore it, you're going to feel dead inside. You're going to feel lifeless and uninspired and sad. Let's pull some cards together. Try to keep this one a little on the shorter side because I was very long-winded previously. What wants to come through? I seem to not be able to shuffle for anything right now because I'm purging a lot out of my right hand. That has to do with prostitution, with selling your body for money, for the old world slave trade, anything that's kind of selling out against your heart. It's all coming out through my right hand, especially the little crotch area between the thumb and the pointer finger. It's bleeding, it's cracking because there's an inability to give that old world a hand job anymore and to sell out or to whore yourself out and yeah, just sell out for money. We can't do it any longer. There's no ability. Oh, interesting. Eight of Pentacles. You can't sell out to work in an industry that is counter to your heart. The Eight of Pentacles is the work card. It's the craftsmanship card. In the upright position, it would be fulfilling work. It would be craftsmanship. It would be your work, your day job, your career as your art. There's a lot of conflicting information out there about not making your art your job and yada, yada, yada. I'm not really on that wavelength, but Mars is very flippant at that 1 degree Leo. It is such a playful, joyful, exuberant, wonderful, wonder-filled. Yeah, it's very inner child. It's probably not probably, it is the degree of your inner child, okay? And all of its dreams and all of its inspiration where it didn't want to grow up and go to work for the man or work to be a slave in this slave trade economy or sell its body, be a prostitute, have to, especially for the feminine, whore itself out just to survive, beg for money, not find satisfying work. There's a lot of dissatisfaction in this archetype. It's saying that money isn't everything. It's not all that matters either. It's more important to do something that makes you happy and delights your heart than it is to chase the highest paying job that you can get. My hair gets shuffled in the cards all the time now. It's getting too long. Maybe not too long, but oh, look at hey you. Your heart's gonna have a heart attack. That's why people have a heart attack, y'all. The heart is thumping, it's doing its thing, it's trying to get your attention. It's like, hey. And when you ignore it and you don't listen to it, hey you with a big heart attack. I'm head physician on this planet. I do declare. I've been saying that a lot. I must be integrating with the land here and becoming a Southern belle. I do declare. And I'm an authority on this subject. When you don't listen to your heart, it has a heart attack. It screams at you. It panics. It's like, what are you doing? Everything that you are doing is counter to what I'm saying to you, what I'm whispering to you. So it begins with a whisper. And when you ignore it, it eventually doesn't want to tick for you. It's like, I will not keep beating. I will not keep ticking because I don't want to do this bullshit anymore. This isn't work that is satisfying. It doesn't make me happy. It's not in my heart. Let's read that. We'd like to interrupt this oracle deck with a very important announcement. That's your heart when it has a heart attack. We'd like to interrupt the story of your life with a panic heart attack. Very important announcement. What's interesting is when people come out on the other side, if they make it through, if they live and heal from a heart attack, a lot of them find new inspiration and then totally new direction in their life. This heartbeat card is saying, oh, interesting. Mars, the warrior, attacking, right? Heart attack. Wow. Kind of didn't make the connection right away. Yes, your heart will go into attack mode. It will gosh, it's that big of a deal. It will self-terminate if you go on long enough doing jobs you hate, work you hate. There's nothing to fear. Every single thing that looks ominous is but an illusion. It has no power. Zip, nada, zilch. It's time to look your fears straight in the eye and call them out as the insignificant posers they really are. Mars, the warrior, is becoming quite fearless in a new way. Not just having to soldier into a fight, into a battle, put on that brave face and run into the battle. He's got a different fear that he's facing, which is all of the fears attached to when we're too afraid to follow our heart. They have to be faced head on. Why is this thing that your heart sings and beats for so scary to fully charge into? Why, cards? Why? 10 of Cups. Because it brings up a lot of emotions. It brings up 10 cups worth of different emotions. I'm getting this sense of past life failures that cause emotional chaos and fuel the fear. So there's 10 different varieties, 10 different flavors that generate this fear, and you have to get them condensed down to one core quintessential emotion that's holding you back and swallow it. You have to swallow it. It's like taking poison and alchemizing it and turning it into honey is the essence that I'm getting here. And when you follow your heart, there's so much emotional satisfaction and fulfillment here. It's your 10 of Cups. It's the ultimate satisfaction and pleasure and joy. It's so rewarding. It's so interesting why we hold ourselves back from the very thing that's going to bring us that much happiness. Cannot seem to shuffle, and I cannot seem to not drop cards. Look at 9 of Swords. He's so creepy. He's like a zombie. 9 of Swords. 9 of those emotions are this guy. And they're kind of baseless fears, and you have to swallow them down. And then you get left with 1 cup. You pour all of them into the 1 cup, and you swallow it down as that poison. This is 100% past life, and it has 9 lives associated with it because of this cat on here. This is the Lioness. I've got Oracle of E and Lioness Tarot. You feel like you've tried it for 9 lives. You've tried it for 900 lifetimes. And why would it work out this time? Why would you succeed this time? There's hauntings, there's tauntings, there's spooks from the past. That's all those emotional cups of fear that you have to work through. But once you move beyond it, you'll make 𝗵𝗃. You'll make nectar. You'll make your own batch, homemade brew of the Fountain of Youth. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's what keeps you from the grave, from living as a zombie. You have to alchemize all that and turn it into your eternal youth potion. Your art is your eternal youth formula. So hear your art beat. Everyone needs to hear your art beat. It inspires them to not stay stuck in this energy either. I'm going to get 1 more card and call the message complete. Oh, we got 2. The High Priestess and the 3 of Wands. And I'm going to ask why that's here because there's no immediate. I do get Egyptian past lives here. Very big hangups from this era. for many of my viewers. Come on. Come on. There it goes. All right. Why is this combination here? Free fallen. Free fallen. Now I'm free. Free fallen. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Interesting download. Free Fallen, which is by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. There's something about this project. Let's call it a project because there's a projection sense here. This projection got disassembled. It got dismembered in Egyptian times, which would be the end of the heyday of the golden years of, it was the beginning of the descent, right? Well, maybe not the beginning, but it was the last kind of heyday, golden years. So this has to be alchemized. This time period has to be alchemized. And this may be different for different people around the world, different soul incarnations, different soul groups, where some of us had a very prominent existence in a different historical culture or area of the globe during the same time period. It's a time period that I'm picking up here. This has to be, it's like a root cause. It's a root cause. It's the very root of your fear. And it's gonna keep doing this to you. So you have to turn it into your medicine. You have to identify it and then you have to turn it into your medicine. And the Three of Wands. I feel very stumped with this. Free Fallen, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. I'm definitely getting a sense of petty squabbles that led to the destruction of your art, your sandcastle. Interesting. I keep getting this notion that we're all going to have to learn how to play nice in the sandbox. And I've been saying, if you don't like someone else's sandcastle, you don't go knock theirs down, you go make your own. I think some beings didn't like our sandcastles, and they came and they knocked them down, and they shot the noses off and destroyed these artworks, these very big masterpieces that were covered with gold or decorations. They all got graffitied, destroyed, ruined. Things were stolen. So that's a pretty big wounding. That's a pretty deep, deep, deep thing to harbor for millennia. The Free Fallen card almost feels like whatever these petty squabbles were, who did what, finger pointing, none of that matters anymore. You have to drop it. We have to drop it. There's no more fighting. There's no more arguing. There's no more, you did this, you said that. Ooh, yeah. There's something about squabbling in the past with Mars there. It doesn't get much better than this. Deep, radical trust that appearances mean nothing and that you and only you are the captain of your ship. What you say goes. You are in unrestrained motion and unseen forces are awaiting your command. That is not what I thought this card was going to be about. It does have an artistic director quality. It feels as if, okay, I'm picking up the Master Builder channel that I was pulling down the other day. There are master builders, there are master architects, and we got put out of commission and our masterpiece is destroyed. We have to let go of those old hangups and the old fights and just move on and put our captain hat on our director cap, our orchestrator wand, and just get doing the ding ding thing. This is also reading as stalling, procrastination. Are you going to just keep procrastinating in fear, or are you going to Three of Wands this? And some of us act as the high priestess, where we don't build it. We aren't the ones that build it, but we have the dream. We have the idea. How do we get this emotion? The Hermit. What I'm more drawn to here is the butterfly, which feels like it's rising, getting out of bed, getting out of dead mode, getting out of procrastination, lazing around. I'll get to it one day. I'll get to it one day. It's being put in a timeout, being closeted away, keeping yourself safe, keeping yourself hidden, and forever giving yourself a pass. Yeah, putting yourself in timeout perpetually. You need to wake up. You need to wake up and you need to get marching. You need to get marching, says Mars. There's no more time to hesitate. March, 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 march. All right, soldier. Go make your art. I want to see it. Share it with me. Tell me about it. Tell me about what cool things you're making. I want to know. Write it below. Bye.